In my last video, I talked about arbitration versus litigation and the decision making that goes into the process. There's another important consideration. I'm based in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Ironically, we have several different systems that operate here when it comes to dispute resolution. The Abu Dhabi Global Markets and the DIFC are two financial centers that were carved out of the constitution some years ago to give them legitimacy of having their own legal framework. They are largely based on common law principles and, based on more English law, Australian law, and those type of principles, whereas the rest of the UAE operates on civil law, which is codified law. We happen to have a different court system in Dubai, and we have a different court system in Abu Dhabi for the rest of the 6 Emirates. So Dubai has its own court of cassation, i.e. the Supreme Court, and Abu Dhabi has its own federal Supreme Court as well. The courts operate independently and you can refer your disputes to either of them. You can also refer your disputes to the ADGM or the DIFC for resolution. The DIFC courts, as I said, are modeled more on English law principles and English courts, and they now have a bank of precedents, which is a big distinguishing factor between common law and civil law. Because in civil law, the courts are not bound to follow their previous judgments. There is no such thing as a precedent judgment that the court needs to look at. So, for example, the judge can take guidance from a previous judgment, but is free to decide on the merits of each case. And that sometimes makes it very difficult to predict the outcome of a case in a civil law court dispute. Just some thoughts on this, and I'll shed more light on each of them in my next videos, and also tell you a little bit more about the DIFC and the ADGM and my experiences there.